We were pretty famous back in high school. Trust us!
Had a whole future ahead of us, but now we suck.
All that potential now is flowing in the aqueducts.
Through the sands of time, many did forget.
But now our time has come to resurrect. But a podcast.
Sad I know, but can you blame us?
We are desperate to be much more than high school famous. Hello and welcome to High School Famous, the podcast that Matt and I do all the time.
Yep.
I'm Sean.
I'm Matt.
All right. That was the
change of
best
pace.
intro ever.
Well,
it was
the best intro today.
It was one of the intros ever. It was the best one I've done. Best one that I've done so far. Yeah, but this could be the best one that I've done to date.
I am not going to be the judge of that.
I know my first attempt.
It's one of them that you have done to date.
Yeah. I know that the first one I ever did was pretty sloppy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, bad news. Right? We're doing bad news?
Sure. It does that.
All right. Cool. I'll go first.
Sure.
All right. Hey, Sean here. I'm currently signed in as my Gmail account. Thanks. Okay, I was watching a movie the other day. Which movie? Doesn't matter. Any movie. But it made me realize I should have been a martial arts master. I have spent most, if not all, of my life not training in any of the martial arts. However, it's obvious to me that a martial arts movie star is the career path I should have followed. So today might be the day I do it. Or it might be the day to do it. I got up this morning and went online. I found me an agent and got some acting auditions lined up for some martial art movies. The movies I'm auditioning for are called Never Been Kicked, White Kicks, Kick Tracy, Match Kick Men, and Untitled Transformers Project. I imagine I will land all of these roles as I am delusional and undeservingly confident in myself.
Woo! Nice.
Yeah.
So what is the plot of some of these movies? Never Been Kicked? What's the plot of that?
Well, never been kicked. I mean, imagine a boxer or somebody that's undefeated. Like my character will be so good at martial arts. They may have been punched, but they've never been kicked.
Okay.
Which is less likely because your opponent would have a greater reach. Yeah, I mean, the goal is I have this legend about me because I've never been kicked. And so other contenders, challengers, if you will, they're trying to see if they can be the first to kick me.
You mentioned a boxer. I mean, that could be why you've never been kicked, because you're not allowed to kick in boxing.
Correct. I was not referencing
unless it's
a boxer.
Kickboxing.
Right.
You
I'm
said
not saying
boxer.
that yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get across. I'm trying to communicate this in a way so that you can understand.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're not doing a good job. What's White Kicks about?
Well, I fight in socks all the time, or white shoes. That could be my fighter's name, since I'm known for wearing white kicks shoes. Get it? It's a double meaning.
Oh.
So I wear white kicks and I fight, and I'm always kicking because I'm not a traditional boxer. I'm at least a kickboxer, maybe MMA, maybe SMA. Who knows?
Cool.
Kick Tracy is
Kick Tracy.
Well, that's odd. I mean, I'm a martial artist detective. I mean, I use my martial arts to help. Detect. Detect.
You're not being a detective for martial arts. You are a detective who uses martial arts.
Right.
Got you.
So I can easily get myself out of some very sticky situations in some seedy neighborhoods and whatnot.
It's probably for the best.
Match Kick Man, got no idea. Yeah. I didn't even my agent didn't give me much on that one. Yet. I didn't check out the script. I just knew I'm doing a catch-all for martial arts movies, and so I'm just going for it, whatever it is. I may be able to be kicked in the head, and then my head starts on fire. Or I kick others in the head in a way that their heads start on fire. Maybe I have some sort of like high friction shoes, and that causes some sparks whenever I kick them in the head.
Okay.
Because Match Kick Men suggests that there are more than one Match Kick person. And then, Transformers. I think I'll just be the guy running from the CGI madness that ensues in a Transformers movie.
Oh, that's just a bit part? That's not like a lead?
I don't think can you be a lead in a Transformers movie if you're a human? If you're not a giant robot? I've only seen the first one.
Yeah.
And it was a long time ago.
Well, there's several lead actors in that movie.
Well, there's whatever Shia LaBeouf's character name, right?
Yeah.
Whatever he is. And then there's the what's-her-face. Those are the two people, right? Isn't that it?
There's more people in it, but...
Right, but main character? Wouldn't you say those two are the leads?
Well, there's usually... Yeah, the way movies work, there's always like one lead male, one lead female, and everybody else is, supporting. But there's still... You're just talking about being guy who runs away from CGI madness. That's not even a supporting role. That's just an extra.
So, I could be brought in. I don't know. Maybe maybe the humans find some kind of martial arts weakness in the Transformers. Or I teach the Transformers martial arts.
Oh. So is Untitled Transformers Project the official title for the film, or is that
it's a working title.
Okay.
So in reality, it is as of yet untitled, but a working title for it is Untitled Transformers Project, a Michael Bay film.
Gotcha.
And I think that I have some sort of beef with humanity, so I'm going to teach the Transformers. Maybe I could teach the good ones martial arts. It's clear that I'm deciding what my character does in this script. I'm the one who's supposed to map this out.
It's what it's starting to sound like, yeah.
So I think that I should either I got a beef with humanity, and so I teach the Decepticons martial arts to give them an upper hand on the Autobots. Autobots?
Nailed it.
Okay. Or I'm trying to help the Autobots win by teaching the Autobots.
You really skimmed that script.
Yeah. So, yeah. And all the auditions are on Wednesday. So I am going to be a martial arty boy.
Are they all at the same studio, or are you going to several different studios?
Several.
Or are they all online?
They're all Zoom auditions.
Several different online studios.
I'm just going to I'm going to record myself doing one thing and then try to insert it seamlessly into the Zoom meetings.
Right.
And hope that it, because they're probably all similar. They're probably going to all ask similar questions. What's your martial arts background? Can you show us a few things? Wow, how did you get so ripped? What's your diet like? What's your workout routine?
I'm assuming but you'll still have to do reading. You'll have to read script. So it's not that you can just, unless all the scripts are the same.
They're not, but they're probably going to have a lot of similar type of dialogue with a martial arts expert. Just say things like, you need to find your inner self, look to the sun.
Is that something a lot of martial artists say? Look to the sun.
Punch with your mind, not with your fist. Stuff like that. And then I'll scream white kicks at some point. I'm hoping that either that'll land well with the white kicks audition, or
work with
it'll
every script.
Or anybody watching for the other meetings can be like, oh, that's a good line. Let's put that in. My characters, I bet you if I land all these roles, my character's going to end up being named White Kicks in every one because of that, though.
Right.
And I'm going to sign NDAs on all of them, so I can't warn the other projects about how similar they're going to be with me acting in all of them.
Right.
So yeah, any other stupid questions?
Wow, that's rude.
About my dreams?
No, I'm looking forward to all of these movies.
Yeah, I think they're all slated. They're all slated for a summer of 2022 release date. So release time frame. So it's gonna be a big year for me. Lots of
one of those,
award buzz.
Yeah, one of those definitely is Untitled Transformer Project is actually scheduled to release in 2022.
Is it really? Oh my gosh!
I looked up. I was looking up many movies that were going to come out in 2022 to put kind of like a real movie at the end.
Sure.
And then I just saw something that just said Untitled Transformers Project. I'm like, yep, that'll work.
All right.
So that's a real movie that's coming out.
Nice.
Yep.
Wouldn't it be awesome? I mean, I'll probably never watch it, but it'll be awesome if there was some sort of martial arts type of character in that movie, wouldn't it?
Named White Kicks.
All right. Yeah. So, and then if that's it, let's go on.
It would be an Autobot, and it would be a Kia Kicks. It's an actual car.
Oh,
here's
yeah,
my news.
Cool.
And it would be white in color. Hold on.
Of course.
I had my news up, and then I just clicked on something, and it went away.
I see you can now see it.
I am here. All right. So I decided I need to finish inventing stuff. It's a weird thing to say.
Right?
I've been an inventor for quite some time now, and some of my inventions are super great and useful. I can't wait to actually finish them. I have a whole list of inventions that are going to be muy beneficial to humanity once they are done, and I'm going to list them off without being asked to. A flying car, a charming duck, an ankle watch, be hard to read, clothes inside outer, an age ender, a cradle ladle, invisualability potion, got that pretty close. Orange, This is a really cool device that will be able to create a word that rhymes with orange. Social networking site called Spacebook, where you can befriend elves, not elves. Tranquilizer air, apartment boats, something to make roads out of that won't crack or get holes. Washing machine that is also a dryer. A smart countertop, the juice appler. A ray gun that takes animals off the endangered species list. SPUM, the color Nord. I bet you can't wait just as much as I can for all these stellar inventions to be finished so we can all start experiencing their benefits. I'm sure to be super famous after all of this. Say, Sean, do you know how to get inventions made into things?
I don't think so. I mean, I think there's an advertisement I've seen about if you are an inventor or if you have inventions, I think they might help get you like capital to get the idea going.
Well, basically, what it sounds like when I say, do you know how to get inventions made into things? Basically, what I'm telling you is that all of these inventions that I have are just things I've thought up but haven't actually built. They're not really inventions.
What is coming across to me is essentially a list of ideas, but you're calling them inventions that you just haven't finished yet.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea of what one of these are, but maybe you can help me on the invisibility potion.
Boy, nope.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I think, and this is just off of first exposure to this invention. This sounds to me like a potion that you drink, and then people can't picture you.
They can't picture you?
It doesn't make you invisible, but people just can't picture you.
Okay.
You can't be visualized.
Got it.
It's an invisualability potion. What is SPUM?
Interesting. It's like spam, but it's like one step down from spam, even.
I wanted it to be a worse sounding version of spam.
It does sound worse. Yeah.
SPUM?
SPUM sounds pretty bad.
Do you remember the juice appler?
Yes, I do.
You do? All right.
So
I was hoping you would.
Yeah, we're gonna hit our high school quota here today. Even though it wasn't when we were in high school that we came up with this, but it was when it was for somebody else's project. They were in high school.
Yeah.
But the only thing, the only thing I can't remember about it is all right. So basically, what the juice appler is for anybody who doesn't know, besides me and Sean, which is everyone. Right. It was an invention. It was something we created where basically it takes juice and turns it back into you take apple juice and it'll turn it back into an apple. But I can't remember if what the idea was. No matter what juice it was, it turned it into an apple. Like it reversed the juice back into not which fruit it was, but it always turns into an apple.
It wouldn't turn it back into an apple. It would basically be like the apple skin fully intact, but just full of juice.
Right. Well, yeah.
You'd bite into it. And juice would just spew out all over your face.
Right.
But yeah, anything you did it to, whether it's pineapple juice or pear juice or grape juice, it turns it into an apple form. So
yeah, that was the joke. Was that instead of it being like a fruit juicer where you would juice your fruits, it was basically a juice fruiter or a juice
fruiter.
So you'd basically take the juice and it would turn the juice back into the fruit. But I think that's what our original intention was for it. But then the idea was that you would bite into the apple and juice would just fall everywhere.
Yeah.
Like it does a very terrible job of actually creating it back into the fruit that it once was.
And the funniest part was we were sort of seriously considering this idea, and we were going to try to somehow, we were trying to think of how to make this even happen. Like to have a juice, have an apple that was like hollowed out and filled with juice.
I think that wouldn't be insanely hard to do. Because I think all we would really have to do is if you just take an apple, you drill a hole into it, right? And then you just have to, because the idea was we're going to make like an infomercial for it. We would just have to shoot it in a way where you don't see the hole that's in the apple, and you just have to make the hole big enough that you could get something in there to kind of scrape the inside of it out enough, just to where when you go to bite that part of it, all the juice would come out, you know?
Yeah,
it would just have to be a sizable hole. It wouldn't have to be the whole interior of the apple.
Yeah, that's a more sort of reasonable idea than what I was picturing. I was picturing an entirely hollowed out apple skin that's full of juice.
It'd be very difficult. I mean, for the joke, it would have been too much work.
Yeah. That's why we went with what we.
And also, it would have no structural integrity anymore. It would just be this weird,
it'd be too hard,
like water balloon consistency apple.
Do you think you could what if you just cut the top open like a pumpkin? You know,
yeah, you could do that, and then you could because you'd just be hiding
You hollow it out and you put the top back on.
Yeah,
there's ways around it. So, but I don't know I liked what we ended up doing, but I don't know if the juice appler would have made as good of a video, as good of an infomercial.
It might not have been as good because I think it would have really just kind of had that one visual gag that would have been kind of entertaining, and then the only other part that would have been funny is just how we would have presented it as like that cheesy infomercial kind of thing, like we ended up doing with the video we ended up actually making.
The only way the joke could have kept going on is if we had multiple people biting into these, which means we would have had to have made multiple apples hollowed out and full of juice. And I wasn't about to do all
just
that.
Like biting into it, I'm like, pineapple. Orange, and they're all apples.
Yeah, the same thing. Yeah. Well, that was an exciting edition of Bad News, and in my opinion, it's not the best one.
It's one.
It's one. Just like my intro.
Yeah, I think what's happening for me is I'm maybe just running myself a little dry writing these. And trying to come up with a new one every week. So I don't know. We'll talk about it. Maybe we'll
switch it up,
swap back. Maybe do it every few times, like once a month. Maybe we do a different opening gag once. Have a rotating opening gag in the show, and we do it once a month or whatever. And we'll see.
Yeah.
But we'd have to come up with some more ideas
some more,
here before
more gags
we do that. But yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. Go ahead.
I came up with something to do, but when I thought of it, I was like, "Oh, this will be something fun to do to Matt." So this is a great idea, and I'm going to do it. And then as I did it, I was like, "Wait a minute! This is just like something he did to me, only slightly different." So it's not really an original idea,
but it's still an idea.
I know you're a big fan of the British and their television programs or whatever, but I compiled a list of British slang.
Okay.
And I would like to see how many of these you can correctly.
I mean, this sounds like a very original idea. I don't think we've ever done anything like this before, especially not just a couple episodes ago.
I know. Seriously,
I have no idea how you come up with these things, Sean. How do you come up with these ideas? So crazy.
Seriously, it wasn't until I made the whole list. I think it was days later. I was like,
"Wait a minute!
Oh, this is just like what he just did to me. He just did this to
Yeah.
me with American.
Well, you probably at least put slightly more thought into it than I did, because I think, like I said in that episode, I think if I do it again, I'm gonna make sure I look up like discontinued or like no longer used slang, because I just pulled a random list and it was not great. But,
See, I think your aim with yours was trying to see how much of like current, like what a lot of young kids are saying these days, and how familiar I am. Yeah. All right. There's the youths. There's quite a few here, so I don't think we're going to go through all of them. So I'll try to cherry pick some.
Okay.
So the first one is balls up.
Balls up.
Balls up. What is something if it's balls up?
Well, basically, it's like it sounds like something's screwed up, or it's messed up, or it's I don't know. That's kind of
No,
okay.
A messed up situation.
Oh, there you go.
That's balls up.
I should write these down, because that sounds like something I should use.
Well, I've got this whole list, and it's on Drive. It's on Drive, so you could just have them all.
I could just look at it right now.
Well, you shouldn't, because it's late. The doc is cleverly titled. The doc is cleverly titled "Matt Don't Read."
Oh.
So once we're done, I'll rename it to something a little less intimidating. So let's see if you know.
It's more insulting. It's more insulting if it's just called Matt Don't Read.
Matt Don't Read.
Oh,
don't even try, because he don't.
Matt want to read.
Matt don't try, because he don't read.
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean if you're knackered? K-N-A-C-K.
Like you're tired.
Okay. Yep. All right. 2 in a row.
I'm not going to put
legless.
dings. I'm not going to put dings in this. I'm going to complain about that right now.
What about if someone's legless? Legless, like Legless. Like they're of no legs.
That seems too on the nose. They are of no legs.
I like the way
you worded that, though. They are of no legs.
They are of no legs.
Legless. So I was going to say, like, if you wouldn't just done knackered, I would have said that it basically somebody that's, can't even be bothered to walk or move or anything. Legless.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. So it's someone who is. Are you done? You give up?
Yeah, sure.
Extremely drunk.
Oh, okay.
So much just mean they're stumbly and they can't hold themselves up. When people are so drunk, you have to carry them. You have to carry them around.
Right.
I bet you it's that.
Like I deal with that often. When people are around you and they are drunk constantly,
right?
You must carry them. You must carry them always, because they are of no legs. I like of no legs better than legless, by the way.
Than legless?
Like, that guy is of no legs.
He is of no legs. That could be the American modified version, the Americanized version of it.
Which sounds like it shouldn't be, because it's the more lazy. Like legless is the more lazy way of saying it, and you think we would want to have the more lazy way of saying it.
Yeah, but sometimes I've noticed there are some British terms, not necessarily slang, but there's some British terms that are so on the nose that it seems like it makes more sense than the American version, but it seems like it would be more complicated if it were the British version. So I don't know. Let me just think, like, I forget the term they use for like a shopping cart. It's very, very just on the nose. And keep, like, something like a keep left sign. It just seems, the name for it is exactly what it is. I'm going to look up what a shopping cart is.
Okay.
Hello.
So, yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but we have some audio to cut out.
Yeah. You went away, and then all of a sudden, like 30 seconds later, it told me I had no internet connection, which I had my Wi-Fi was off on my phone, so I don't know. So I had to start a new meeting.
Yeah, well, let's just seamlessly get back into wherever we were.
Yeah, so the next so as I was talking about keep left signs, they're too on the nose. You didn't hear me talking about keep left signs.
I sure didn't.
Okay.
I last was talking about we were talking about the American version of legless was
of no
legs, and that's where everything went to hell.
Yeah, because you said that you thought that legless should be the American version because it's the more lazy version.
Yeah.
then I started to say
you
that
had
there's
me.
some.
Then you had me longer than I had you because you cut out way before that for me.
Oh, so I started to say that there are some British terms for things that are a little too on the nose for me, like keep left signs.
Gotcha.
So, and then I tried to look up what a British shopping cart is called, and
a trolley.
I saw a trolley, I saw a buggy, so there's a few different ones. Okay, so let's get back to this list. I just noticed that knackered is on here twice.
Perfect.
But,
I already knew it.
Like there's ones I know you know, like bee's knees is on here. I know you. I have an idea that you know what rubbish means.
Like trash.
Yeah. So how about a wazzock?
Wazzock?
Wazzock.
No idea.
It's someone who's an idiot.
Okay, I want to just say idiot.
What if someone's a cock up? Is a real cock up?
They're a screw up, a mess up, a
screw up. Exactly. Lost the plot.
Lost the plot.
That guy's really lost the plot.
I don't know. Just has no idea what he's doing. I don't know. He's lost his mind, basically.
Gone crazy.
Okay.
Kind of like lost your marbles. Gobsmacked.
Basically just like blown away, or they're
amazed.
Amazed, yeah.
What if someone is dodgy? Or even a situation is dodgy?
Sketchy. It's like yeah.
Pretty much. Suspicious.
Unpredictable. Not sure. Yeah.
What happens if you're Starkers?
Starkers?
Starkers. You go somewhere and everyone's looking at you because you're Starkers.
That one I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure.
It means you're naked.
You go somewhere and everybody's looking at you because you're Starkers.
What? They would.
That's yeah. I would have never gotten it based off of that.
How about dog's bollocks?
Well, it's the dog's balls, obviously, but just I've heard it used. I can't.
I'll give you a
way to describe it.
I'll give you a hint, a clue. You might like saying it more than bee's knees.
I might like saying it more than bee's knees.
Yeah.
Okay.
For both of them, it says awesome. Okay. So like that's the bee's knees, or that's the dog's bollocks. You might just like saying dog's bollocks more. Arse over tit.
Basically, yeah, like yeah.
Basically, like yeah.
All right.
You're gesturing to me.
Yeah, I know.
But no one can see that.
My brain isn't fully operational right now. Basically, I think there's another one. Like, I think there's another like an American phrase. It's like ass over ankles or some shit. No, that's normal.
You've fallen over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bangers.
Like a sausage.
Sausage. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Blimey.
Blimey is just like an expression of like shit or
my yeah. This says my goodness. What does it mean? What does it mean if you're chuffed?
You're chuffed?
Chuffed.
All I can think of is chafed. It's like a grade lower. It's like SPUM.
It's like SPUM.
Yeah. Chuffed is a slightly worse chafed.
Chuffed is the SPUM of chafed.
Yep, I already see.
That's not correct though. Chuffed means you're proud.
Okay.
Like, oh, my son graduated from college. He's got me so chuffed. It sounds gross, but it's
that sounds so gross. That's so.
It does.
When you say my son has got me so chuffed.
My son came over and showed me what he's been working on. It got me real chuffed. I'm chuffed of him? Would you say you're chuffed of something? Or like I'm too chuffed to admit that I did that?
I'm too chuffed to stand up right now.
Oh yeah, I'm too chuffed to stand up. Let's see. Okay. Earlier I was looking up shopping cart, and that's on here. Alright, it's on my list.
There you go. Trolley.
Diary.
They have a slang word that's diary.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean diary. It doesn't mean like a book of your thoughts and experiences.
Diary. I'm not sure.
It is a calendar.
Okay.
I guess you'd say like mark it on the diary or something.
Weird.
Bugger all. Bugger all.
I think it's basically just kind of like fuck all, or bugger is kind of used as like a like a alternative curse word.
Yeah, like I've heard of like bugger off.
Yeah.
Right? But this is bugger all, and it says nothing at all for the meaning. So I don't know if that means like what are you
all.
up to?
Yeah.
Like what are you up
to? It's the same as saying like
bugger
fuck
all.
all. Yeah. Like that's not necessarily an American phrase, but to say like somebody saying like, oh, I'm up to fuck. Like, what are you up to? Oh, fuck all. Like nothing.
Yeah. So what's a pram?
A pram is I guess what we would call a stroller, but it's
All
like
right.
a fancier one.
Is it?
Usually. Usually I think they're like covered.
Okay.
Like,
this just says baby stroller.
Yeah.
There's a certain type of store that would be called off license.
Off license?
Yeah.
Not like a liquor store or something.
It's a liquor store.
Okay.
Man, you're too good.
Well, it's just, I'm thinking like off sale liquors, you know, where most liquor stores are off sale.
Don't worry, this isn't some trick list at the end that I'm going to reveal that these are all like NASA terms or these are all animal breeds or species.
They're all fake phrases from Dick Van Dyke movies.
Yeah. What do you do if you skive? SKIVE. What do you do? What are you doing if
skive?
Someone who likes to skive.
It's a really cool way of it's a shortened version of skydive. I like to skive. No, I feel like I've heard it, but
if you did this while skydiving, it would be very difficult. It is to play hockey.
Okay, that is.
You probably know what a loo is.
Bathroom.
Yeah. What's a fit bird?
Fit bird is an attractive woman.
What about a fit bloke?
An attractive man.
What about if someone is dishy?
Dishy?
Yeah.
Somebody that talks a lot, like Gabby.
Oh, that makes sense.
Somebody that chatty person.
That would make sense. But it also says attractive man for dishy.
Oh, tricky.
Yeah, I did. Scrummy. What if something is scrummy?
It sounds like something that would be like dirty, but I'm just thinking of like a scrum, which is a rugby thing. It's like the huddle in rugby.
Oh, sure.
But scrummy just sounds like a dirty person.
Scrummy means that something is delicious.
Maybe like scrumptious. Makes sense.
What happens if you're honking? What are you doing if you're honking?
Like grabbing someone's boob? I don't know.
I think that's the American version.
Okay.
Honking is vomiting.
Okay. I'm knowing about as much as I figured I would know.
You're getting a lot of them. What about minging? What would you describe? When would you use the descriptive word of minging?
Like chewing, eating? No.
It's not an action verb. It's an adverb. I mean,
it's not an action verb.
It's not an adverb. It's just an adjective.
Minging? Yeah, I don't know then.
It means it's disgusting.
Okay.
You know what I didn't do that you did was you try to have me. I
had to try to have me use them in a sentence. Yeah, it's too late now.
I know. This is just another very like listy type of.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, what's this? Oh, it's this. Okay. Hey, what about this? Oh, it's this. Okay.
Well, hey, it brought it brought the word chuffed into our vocabulary.
It did.
I'm okay with that.
It did. I think you know what a biscuit is.
Biscuit is a cookie.
And what are trainers?
Trainers are tennis shoes.
Yep. What do you do when you ring? You ring someone?
You call them, like on the telephone. If it comes up, a jumper is a sweatshirt.
Oh, that's not on here.
Oh, okay.
Who's someone who's tough? What is tough?
I don't know if I've heard that one.
An upper class person.
Interesting.
Give you a bell.
Give you a bell?
I'll give you a bell.
Like give somebody a visit?
It's actually another calling someone.
Yeah, I was thinking it might have been calling again, but I'm like, bell sounds more like doorbell, so maybe I'll give you a visit.
Like that would make sense to me. What if something is a dog's dinner?
Is this referring specifically to food?
It's not.
Okay.
It's actually not. I mean, it could be food related, but it doesn't have to be. It could be. It's the state of something.
Dog's dinner. Something's on the floor. Something hits the floor.
It just says a mess.
Okay.
Like, oh, this place is a dog's dinner.
Like, oh, that girl's face is a dog's dinner.
Oh, that's SPUM.
She's got SPUM all over her face.
What's a kip? What do you do?
Kip.
when you have a kip or something?
I don't know. I know far less British slang than no, I shouldn't say that. I know about as much British slang as I figured I knew. So, not much.
Kip is sleep or nap.
Okay.
There's others like, I don't know if we want to do any more. I've got, what if you're minted? What does it mean if you're minted?
Basically, it has to do with money. Like you have a bunch of money, or you're a bunch of money.
You're wealthy. Yeah. Gutted. You're gutted.
Like devastated, kind of, right? Like
it says devastated. Exactly.
Oh, there you go.
Are you open? You're not.
No, I'm not.
You're not on the list. I can see it.
The list.
There's other ones that like chap.
Yeah.
Shambles. Chips. I mean, obviously.
Yeah.
There was even potato crisps. If you can guess what potato crisps are.
Yep. We talked about this in
I know.
Did we not talk about this in a previous episode?
Maybe,
the last episode? So. Yeah, I remember. Or one of the episodes recently we had talked about chips and crisps.
Now, here's a term I've heard countless times, but I never knew what it meant. Bob's your uncle.
Yeah, it's... It
would always be like the end of a thing, like, oh, you do this and do this and this and this, and then Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
I've
basically
never
just like, and then there you have it, or whatever. I don't know, right?
It is, you have it made.
Yeah.
I guess it means like you're all set, or that's, you don't need anything more.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like sorted.
So speaking of all this Britishness, did you watch the latest episode of Taskmaster yet? Or are you still behind now?
No, I've got them all. I watched the fifth episode recently was the one released, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm up. I'm caught up. I'll admit this season, or this series, I should say, started off kind of meh for me. I wasn't too excited about the tasks or the people on the show. I'm still a little
I think it's
flat.
Tough because with no studio audience and all that, it makes for a very different show.
Yeah, I'm sure that perhaps the cast would be a little more energetic if the audience was in the same room.
Right.
But I didn't notice as drastic a difference on the last series as I have with this one. The cast just seemed very flat and just sort of there's not a lot of energy. This season, series 11. There's not a lot of energy that I'm getting, and so far I haven't seen any like remarkably clever ways to complete the tasks that are given. Right. I haven't seen any like amazing. There was the one would be where they had to wrap their lower half with.
Yep. As soon as that task started, that's exactly where my mind went. Is like, just wrap. I've seen this show enough to know. Wrap your legs separately.
Yeah, and only one guy thought of it, and it was amazing. It was genius. He just had to walk over to the plane and get the hat. Yep,
that was the first thing that popped into my head. Is do not wrap your legs together because something's going to come after this.
Here's we'll describe the show here. I mean, you might be a better authority on describing the show since you've known of it longer, but I could describe it if you want.
So yeah, we're talking about a show called Taskmaster. Go ahead.
Oh, I took a drink because I thought you were gonna actually describe it. So anyway, each series has a cast of 5 British. I mean, they're all British usually for the most part.
Usually comedians.
They're comedians. Sometimes I know there's been at least one from New Zealand. There's been maybe Irish and some others, but
there's been then varying occupations as well. But they're all fairly well known in
entertainment.
England.
In English entertainment, and they all stay separately at this house called the Taskmaster House. And I'm not sure how long they're there filming the tasks when they're there.
I think they do a few days here and there, but it's over a period of how many months that they go and do tasks there.
And the show's creator is named Alex Horn, and he is sort of the sidekick on the show. So there's a host named Greg Davies, and then Alex Horn is the guy who is in charge of monitoring how they complete the tasks, and he times them, and he makes sure that they follow all the rules, and so he'll mark down if someone's disqualified for whatever reason. But anyway, they're all given these very strange, goofy tasks, and some of them are timed, some of them are whoever does it the fastest wins, Some of them are whoever does it in the most impressive way wins. And so they all do their tasks separately while they're at this house. But there's the occasional group task, but for the most part, they're all by themselves doing this task. And then once they're all wrapped up, they do the stage version of the show where they go over what the task is going to be that they're going to show, and then they show the clips of all of each contestant completing those tasks, and then the host scores them based on either flat out numbers, who did it fastest, or who gained the most distance on X, Y, or Z, whatever the case may be, or he judges them on his opinion as far as what's most impressive. So the task that we were talking about specifically was they were handed one task card that said, wrap your lower half completely in, it was basically like a plastic wrap.
Yeah, plastic wrap and gaffer tape.
And so the fastest time wins, they said. So one person, or most people, interpreted that as your lower half has to be completely covered in both plastic wrap and gaffer tape. And that's kind of, based on the wording, that's how I would have thought it was supposed to be too. But it turns out you just had to have some sort of some combination of the two, and your lower half just had to be completely covered. Whether it be all in plastic wrap and you had just one strip of tape on there somewhere so it counted, or you do all tape and one little piece of wrap. And all four of the contestants wrapped their legs together.
Yeah, mermaid style.
If you're familiar with the show at all, you should kind of figure out that you're going to have to do something that involves you moving around after that if you have your legs bound up. But
yeah, the show's gotten a reputation with the fact that you can't take almost anything at face value on it. Like, first couple seasons, maybe they'd be kind of straightforward. What's on the card that you're supposed to do, that's what you're going to do. Finish it, you're done. But as the show's progressed, they've been, they do more tricks to try to screw people up and different stuff. So they'll hand you a task, you'll complete it, and then after that, all of a sudden you'll get a second task to do another thing that's going to be completely contradictory to what you just previously kind of set yourself up for in the first one, just to throw you off.
Yeah. And then at the beginning of every episode, they have to all bring in a certain item that fits the rules of the game. So it might be bring in the sharpest item, or bring in your most surprising item. And then whoever wins the episode gets to take home all of those things that the other contestants brought in.
Yeah, like I think once was like the best orange thing.
Yeah.
One was like the best subscription.
Sure.
Most expensive thing.
Wasn't one where they had a certain amount of money and they had to do the most impressive thing with that amount of money? Or was that a task?
That was a task. I think almost every season they do one where they say, like, buy the Taskmaster the best present. Here's 20, here's 20 pounds. Yeah. And then they basically have however long before the studio shows to do that. The tasks are worded in a very specific way, and you can find ways around the rules, but the most disheartening times are when someone does so well at completing the task, and maybe they do it in such a clever way, but they accidentally touch something they weren't supposed to touch, or they dropped something they weren't supposed to drop, and they're completely disqualified, and they get 0 points. And they get so pissed off. It's such it's so great. There's literally, they just do it for fun. Nobody really they win a trophy at the end of it, but that's it. Yeah. It's not they get anything out of this.
No, they win a trophy that's in the shape of the host's head. Yeah. So it's very informal British television. So it's just great. It feels
just ridiculous.
Less. Yeah. So yeah, Matt
just
had
pure
told me
entertainment.
About the show. Yeah, he told me about the show a few months ago, and I finally checked it out. You can watch them all. I think every series that's out is on YouTube.
Yeah, I know the first 10 are for sure. The 11th one that's airing now, is that where you're watching it? Is on YouTube?
I'm watching it, and here's what gets confusing about the way it's put out on YouTube, because I've run into it where if you search Taskmaster and you click on that channel or that that channel, and it shows it as the newest series, you'll click on it and it'll say it's not available in your country.
Right.
But then if you search it and it seems like you're clicking on the same channel and you find it where it says season 11, you can watch it.
Oh.
So I'm watching season 11 on YouTube and I'm up to episode 5. So I don't know. But I ran into that. I thought that was so strange because I remember that when I first ran into that, it was for the 10th season.
Right.
I wouldn't be able to play series 10, but I could find season 10 and play that. And it seems like they're both. It just seems like I'm clicking on the same Taskmaster channel,
right?
But I'm searching season instead of series, and it'll let me watch it. And it's not like when I'm clicking on Taskmaster and I'm scrolling through, I also see videos that are called Series 11. I don't know how they're doing it, if it's just all in my head or what.
But yeah, so Taskmaster is highly, highly, highly recommended. It is an absolutely ridiculous show. If you want to watch something that is just going to give you joy and make you laugh,
chuckles.
like it's great stuff.
And
England is good at panel shows. They are amazing at making panel shows.
And what's great is, they're on their 11th series so far, and the tasks are still they're all still unique and they're interesting, and you'll be so impressed how with some of the ways that some of these people are so clever to find their way around the rules and complete a task where other people are trying, by the book way to do it, and they're struggling, and someone else finds a cheap way around it, and they technically did it, but it was in a very cheap, quick, easy way, and it's pretty impressive sometimes.
Yeah, Rod Gilbert Series 7 is hands down one of the best at trying to get away with doing things the easiest way he can, or just the most insane way that he can. He's the one who's Greg Davies' good friend, who would always bring up he always show photos of. Yeah,
I don't want to give away what he what he did, but you're talking about the one where whoever it took Alex the longest to untie.
Yes. Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, that was a genius moment.
Yep. That was a genius moment. There was one where another genius moment of a different season when they had to keep Alex as dry as possible.
I remember
he was sitting under like a shower head, and they said he has to stay. Keep Alex as dry as possible.
Yep, I remember that one too. Yeah.
Sometimes they just come up with really clever ways to get around the rules.
So in that one, he was sitting underneath a shower head, and it was going to start pouring water in something like 2 minutes or something like that. And so they had to figure out how to get him protected from the water that was about to spew out of the shower head. And there was a pretty genius move on one of those.
But they like couldn't touch him, or like there was certain rules of what they couldn't touch or do or whatever.
And some of the ways that these people try to complete these tasks are so ridiculous, and there's no way it's going to work.
Like, and some of them are so go like immediately into panic mode of like, okay, and they just do like the first thing that pops in their head, and it's just completely batshit crazy.
It's awful, yeah. So give it a watch.
Yeah, highly recommended. It is a great show.
And once you've watched it, let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Definitely. Make sure you're watching the British Taskmaster. There was one season of an American Taskmaster that was absolutely terrible. So just don't worry about that at all, and just stick with the British one, and you will enjoy it.
Yeah, it's got to be... I mean, Alex Horn was involved in the American version, but you want the ones that are hosted by Greg Davies.
Yeah,
it's pretty easy to spot.
The American one was hosted by Reggie Watts, and it just it wasn't good.
Well, hey... Do you wanna try a tongue twister, Matt?
Did you do one again?
Yeah, of course. We got ourselves a sweet tongue twister to close us out.
You know how I like to close things out,
like like a bar tab.
I have no idea.
Yeah, where are you going with that? I decided to eliminate the folder called tongue twisters because why have a folder called tongue twisters and then inside a document called tongue twisters, and all of them just live on that one document. It was redundant.
Right.
All right.
Well, here's a tongue twister. All right. Starting over right away. Burly baby Billy Bailey is barely a bully, but baby Bobby Bailey got burly baby Billy Bally to bully his bubbly belly.
I like how
Bali, not Bailey.
They have the same last name, but yeah, one time you said Bally, one time you said Bailey, and then at the now you said Bali.
Yeah, I was just trying to read through it as quickly as possible, and my eyes do what they want to do.
In my head, it was like Bally, kind of like Bally's Total Fitness.
Oh.
Burly baby Billy Bally is barely a bully, but baby Bobby Bally gets burly baby Billy Bally to bully his bubbly belly.
Nailed it. That's how it should have sounded.
Yeah. I'm how it should have sounded. I'm always how it should have sounded. I think I just said should have sounded.
Well, all I can say is got me real chuffed.
You're all... Bye!
Bye.
Hey, we're done. We're done. There's no more to this.
If you like us, we're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as HSFamousPod. Email us at highschoolfamous@gmail.com. If you really love us, consider donating to our Patreon at patreon.com/highschoolfamous. Remember, we love you and want to have your babies.